Welcome to Come Get Woo Woo. We're your hosts, Becky and Ro, here to hold space for the unseen, the unspoken, and the deeply felt. This is a place for seekers, for those who sense that there's more, for those who hear between the words, feel beyond the room, and know without knowing why.
Together, we'll explore the language of spirit, the clarity of your clairs, and the signs that rise up when you're ready to notice. You're not imagining it, you're remembering it. This is Come Get Woo Woo.
Have you ever walked into a space with plants and just felt better? Like nothing dramatic happened. You just soften a little, your shoulders drop, your mood shifts, and you didn't really question it? Or maybe you've had a plant that you swear has a personality, one that thrives no matter what you do, and another one acts like it's personally offended by your presence. What if that's not random? And the calm you feel around plants isn't just relaxing, but you're responding to their energy. Hey, woo-woo seekers. Welcome to Come Get Woo-Woo with Becky and Ro. I'm Becky.
And I'm Ro. Today we're stepping into something that most of us experience every single day, but rarely stop to question. We're talking about the plant realm, not as something you have to understand or study, but as something you may have felt without ever needing to name it. Because plants have been around us, on our windowsills, in our yards, lining the paths that we walk, filling the spaces we call peaceful. But what if they're not just part of the background? What if they're part of the interaction? This isn't about memorizing plants or knowing what species is what. This is about noticing something that's already happening around you, something that's been interacting with you this whole time, whether you've realized it or not. We're going to do more than just talk about the feeling of the plant realm. We're going to open it up in a way that's actually usable in your life. We'll start with the vibe, what it feels like, and how you might already be sensing it. And then we'll bring it into your everyday experiences, the small moments where this energy is already showing up. From there, we'll look at how the plant realm communicates, not in words, but through patterns, cycles, and subtle shifts. And finally, how you can begin to work with this energy in a way that feels natural, simple, and aligned with you.
But before we step into the plant realm, we wanted to invite you to help us grow the Come Get Woo Woo space. If this episode resonates, or if you've been enjoying this journey with us, take a second to follow or leave a review.
It's more than just a click. It's how this message continues to spread. Think of it like planting a seed, helping this space reach other seekers who are ready to find it. It truly helps us grow and keeps everything here open and flowing. This is a spiritual exploration of the plant realm, shared by our perspective as seekers. Let it be something you feel into, not something you have to prove. So, Becky, what is the plant realm?
Well, to really understand the plant realm, it helps to see where it sits in a bigger picture of all the realms that we've been talking about. When we've talked about the elemental realm, we were talking about the raw forces like earth, water, fire, air, or movement, energy, the building blocks of everything. But the plant realm is where those forces take shape. It's where the energy becomes growth. It's where something starts to organize, adapt, and live. And then beyond that, you have the fae and the nature spirits, which are more like personalities that interact with this system. To put it simply, it flows like this: energy into form, into interaction, and the plant realm sits right in the middle of all of that. It's the bridge, the translator between what we can't see and what we can. When we say the plant realm is the bridge, we mean that in a very real way because plants are doing something nothing else in the system does. They're rooted deep into the earth, into the mineral world, and also into the physical world at the same time. They're constantly reaching upwards, pulling in light from the sun. They exist in both directions at once. And through that, they're constantly transforming energy, taking what we release and giving it back what we need. It's this quiet, ongoing exchange happening all the time. Not something that you have to think about, but something we depend on. Even though they appear still, it doesn't mean that they're inactive. Underneath the surface, there's communication happening through roots, through networks, through shared systems that pass along resources, even signals. What looks like stillness is actually constant interaction. And within that, you can start to feel that not all plant energy shows up the same way. Some feel ancient, steady, like they've been holding their place for a very long time. Some nourishing, supportive, and tied to growth and food and daily life. Some even feel more precious, more intentional with their presence, like they are there to support healing or shifting something specific. Different roles, but all part of the same living system. Ro, do you want to touch on the underground work that this realm works on?
Oh, absolutely. This is where it starts to get really interesting because what we see above ground isn't even half the story. Most of us have been taught that if something isn't moving, it isn't really doing anything. But the plant realm completely challenges that. Beneath the surface, there's a massive active intelligence at work. It's not just a bunch of isolated roots sitting in the dirt. It's a woven, overlapping system. These roots are partnered with the vast networks of fungi, fine thread-like structures that act like biological fiber optics, linking tree to tree and plant to plant. Researchers have studied this, and some even started calling this the wood wide web.
I'm sorry, that's just funny. I like it.
Yeah. It's a shared system of exchange that doesn't prioritize the individual, it supports the whole. Through it, the plants can pass along what's needed to a neighbor that's struggling or send out scout signals to warn others of pests before they even arrive. And what's especially interesting is that the system isn't conscious in the way we usually define it. We talk about rooted intelligence. We're recognizing that intelligence doesn't always look like movement or speed. It looks like sensing without urgency, or responding without noise, or supporting without being seen. When you step into a forest and feel that everything is aware of you, you're not imagining it. You're stepping into a living communication network that has been running for millions of years. It reminds us that stillness doesn't mean absence. It can mean a constant, quiet interaction happening just beneath the surface. Have you seen? There's this guy on, I don't know, TikTok or Instagram that swears his tree is moving. He's taken steps, he's put a rope around them, and yeah.
I have not. I mean, we talk about Teddy all the time that Teddy reaches out to me when I ask. So he is like measured it? Is that what it is?
Yes. He's measured it. It's moved closer to the house. And then at one point, it moved back to where it was.
That's creepy. I'm not going to lie. That's so creepy. but cool. Yeah. Huh.
If I come across it, I'll send it to you. But yeah, it's pretty funny.
Definitely. Yeah. It's almost like it's a neighborhood watch program, you know?
Yes.
So it's like, oh, so and so's in trouble. Send your energy. Do 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 do. I don't know.
The
I just thought,
pester here, you know.
yes, yes. Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah. It is pretty cool. And you could, if you're in a forest by yourself, you do feel like the trees are watching you.
Oh, I totally feel like I'm being watched if I'm in the woods. I didn't know it back then because I wasn't even, I'll use the word, I never paid attention.
Oh,
And
there we go again.
oh, I know. But now that I'm here and I'm, we've started doing these episodes and we do these deep dives and everything like that. My awareness has just grown. And I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. You notice different things now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very much. Very true.
Now, we have the 3 pillars of the plant life. Do you want to go over that?
Yes. And actually what they're kind of referred to as energetic roles. So as you start to notice the plant realm more, you might also begin to feel like it's not all plant energy shows up the same way. It's all connected, but it expresses itself differently depending on the role it's holding. And one way to understand that is through 3 natural expressions of plant energy. So the first one we have is the ancestors. So these are heavily rooted in time. So instead of seeing these as just old things or an old tree, you can frame them as the continuity of the earth. When the world feels chaotic and fast, the ancestors are the frequency of duration. It isn't just that they hold history, it's that they are history in the flesh. They are the only living things that have seen what the world looked like before noise of modern life. When we sit with an ancestor, be it a massive oak or a primitive fern, you are essentially leaning your back against timeline. They offer a specific type of relief. The realization that you don't have to carry the world because they've been carrying the land long before you arrived. It's the energy of permittance. They permit you to just exist without needing to produce anything. Then you have the nourishers. This is the energy of partnership. While the ancestors feel like they belong to the ages, the nourishers feel like they belong to us right now. So this is going to be a generous frequency. It's the apple on the branch. It's the grain in the field. It's the green in your garden. There is a hum of active service here. Unlike the stillness of the ancestors, the nourishers are busy. They're transforming sunlight into something that we literally can put into our bodies. Interactions with the nourishers feel like warm hand on your shoulder. It's the energy of maintenance. It's the quiet reassurance that your basic needs are seen and met. When you eat or tend to these plants, they give their life force to sustain yours. It's a daily beautiful sacrifice that keeps us tethered to the physical world. Then you have the healers. Now, if the ancestors are the foundation and the nourishers are the walls, then the healers are the fine-tuning. They are the specialist of the plant realm. This energy is discernment. A medicinal herb or a potent flower doesn't just be, it aims. There's a sharp, intentional intelligence here. They feel more talkative than the other pillars, but they speak a language of chemistry and subtle vibration. They don't overwhelm you. They find the one stuck door in your energy field and give you a gentle nudge. You know you're with a healer when you feel a sense of alignment. It's that odd pull you get towards a specific patch of lavender or a certain herbal tea when you're stressed. They don't nourish you in the general sense. They meet you in your specific discomfort and offer a bridge back to balance. It's an energy of collaboration. And none of these are separate from each other. They're all part of the same living system. Sometimes you need to be held. Sometimes you need to be supported. Sometimes you need something to shift. And the plant realm has a way of meeting you in all three. I just find it very interesting because I never thought of it that way, because I think of Teddy, and that would be like an ancestral.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, if you have a salad, that's 100% your nourisher. And then you have the healers. And I think about many times, I think is it peppermint? Peppermint is a cure for a lot of things, like even like bug bites. You can put a little essential oil on a peppermint essential oil, and it helps with the irritation.
Right. So, like yeast and certain bugs don't like the smell of peppermint.
It's fascinating when you start to look at things just with a different perspective. It broadens your horizon.
I have spearmint growing in my front yard. But it's like a weed.
Yes. It kind of takes over. That is a wonderful container type plant.
Yes. Well,
Good to know, huh?
Too late now.
Yes. But you know what? So when I went to England, we also went to Holland, and we saw the tulips. And I decided to get a bunch of tulips, right? And I have a few that came up. And I was just like, oh my God, they're so pretty. And they're so different. But it was uplifting just to get that. I can see that being a healing thing.
So you'll have to take a picture and post it.
I will have to take a picture and post it, yes.
Go over the architecture of the Green Kingdom, if that's okay.
That sounds perfect.
Instead of looking at the plant realm as a list of different plants, it can be helpful to see how it organizes itself, not by species, but by purpose, by the role each part is playing in the bigger system. Because when you step into nature, you're not just surrounded by plants, you're stepping into something structured, something that knows how to hold itself. You can start to feel this through different expressions within the plant realm. Trees are centennials. They hold, they anchor, and they carry a sense of memory. Long-lived and steady, they create shelter, regulate the space around them, and form the canopy that protects everything beneath. When you're near them, there's often a sense of stability, like you've stepped into something that's been there long before you and will be here long after. Now, vines and grasses move differently. They spread, adapt, and find a way to grow even in places that don't seem ideal. This is the flowing vitality of the plant realm, reaching, climbing, covering ground, a quiet resilience that shows how life continues, even in the smallest cracks. And then there are flowers, not just something beautiful, but the most expressive moment of the plant. This is where the plant realm becomes more visible, more open. It's almost like this is where the plant speaks the loudest, not in sound, but in color, form, and timing. And when you step back and take it all in, you begin to see the plant realm differently. Not random, not passive, but it's structured, responsive, and alive. I've got lots of like little weeds that pop up through the concrete.
But see, they're adaptable.
Yes, it's amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just need just a little dirt and that's it. Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
As you had said earlier, we're going to go over kind of the vibe of the plant realm. This is where you start to feel it more than understand it, because the plant realm doesn't show up loudly and it doesn't try to get your attention. It's already there, steady and present. There's a quiet awareness of it, something patient, something that doesn't rush or push. It holds its place. It grows at its own pace. And when you step into this space, your body often responds before your mind even has time to catch up. You might notice it as a sense of steadiness, like something that is gently holding the environment together, not directing you, not asking anything from you, just existing in the way that feels grounded and consistent. It's a non-evasive presence, almost like it's aware of you, but not trying to interrupt you. The vibe can show up in many different ways. Here are some of the ways that you might recognize it. That quiet exhale your body takes when you step into nature or in a room with plants. Your shoulders dropping or your breath slowing without you trying. A steady, grounded feeling. Being drawn to sit near a certain tree, plant, or an area without knowing why. A sense of being held or supported, but not in an emotional or overwhelming way. You might even notice time feels a little slower and less urgent. That calm feeling, a gentle awareness of your surroundings becoming clearer and softer at the same time. Plants in a space making it feel more alive, even if nothing else has changed. There's sometimes also the sudden pull to care for something, like water, tend, or adjusting. And this is usually the moment where people start to recognize it. Not something new, but something they're already experienced. The shifts in the room with plants, the calm that comes without explanation, the feeling of being supported without being spoken to. It's subtle, but once you notice it, it's hard to unfeel it. Okay, so Jenna's been a fantastic plant mom. I am getting better. But
Yeah.
it's so funny because we both have the same plant, and my plant looks like it needs help. And hers looks like it's flourishing, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. But we both have another plant. Hers looks awful and mine looks gorgeous. And now she does have cats and she does fight with them because they sometimes eat her plants.
Oh. That'll do it too.
Exactly. So yeah.
You know those money tree plants that you could just stick in water?
There's a money tree plant and I don't have one. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't, maybe I'm not saying the name right. I think it's called
I don't know.
money tree or lucky tree or something. And
all I know is I will be getting one of these trees for plants.
Yeah, you stick it in water, give it light. Anastasia takes beautiful care of it. Oh, she makes sure everything's nice and clean. She'll clean the roots and everything. I had the same thing. Yeah, mine died.
See?
Yeah. So I don't have green thumbs. I can grow spearmint though.
Good to know. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I just was never one that did plants, and I am starting to do more and more of them, and I actually love having them around. And yeah, I've got aloe vera.
Wow. Is it easy to grow or no?
I don't know. Jenna grew it, and then she put it in a pot for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm keeping it alive, though.
Oh, good.
So do you want to go over some everyday encounters with the plant realm?
Of course. This is where it really starts to land because once you recognize the vibe, you begin to notice how often it's already showing up in your everyday life. Not in big, obvious ways, but in small moments that feel just a little different. You might walk into a room with plants and feel something shift, like the space softens or your body relaxes without you doing anything. Or you notice certain plants seem to thrive in one area of your home while others struggle, even when you're caring for them in the same way. Almost like they're responding to something more than just light and water. The thing is, the plant realm doesn't speak just one language. For some of us, that interaction starts inside. It's a physical shift. We call these internal shifts, where your body actually acts like a tuning fork for greenery around you. Instead of just a long list, think about which language you're speaking with the plants. Are you feeling it in your own body, or are you just noticing it in the behavior of the plants themselves? So these are the quiet physical cues that the plant realm is interacting with your personal energy. We have the green exhale, walking into a room and feeling your shoulders drop or your breath slow down instantly. And then you have the emotional release, feeling a sudden wave of clarity or letting go after spending just a few minutes outside. And then the focus mirror, noticing you feel sharper, more grounded, or less scattered when working near a desk plant. Then you have the instinctive pull, feeling the magnetic draw toward a specific tree or a flower without knowing why you're walking that way. And then the tactile urge, that sudden natural impulse to touch a leaf, run your hand over a bark, or get your fingers into the soil. And lastly, the quiet companionship, feeling seen or supported in nature even when no other humans are around. I have a favorite tree.
Do you?
That's in my front. And right underneath that, I have my fairy garden or my little fairy house.
Mm-hmm.
So that is my favorite tree.
I'm trying to think. See, now you're going to have to put that on the thing. Here's some of the ways that you might actually feel it in other ways. Because if you're not feeling it in your shoulders or your breath, doesn't mean that you are missing the connection. You might just be external observer. You might be someone who noticed the languages of the realm through behaviors and patterns of the plants themselves. These are some of the signature behaviors in the environment that shows the plant realm is active and aware. So this is the off vibe. So walking into a space where plants are neglected, where the air itself feels flat, heavy, and stale. Location preference. So noticing a plant thrives in one corner but wilts in another, even though the light and the water are exactly the same, as if it's responding to the vibe of the room. The perk up. Seeing a plant visibly brighten or lift its leaves after you've spent time in the room or given it focused attention. Pattern repetition. Seeing the same specific plant or flower pop up in your awareness, whether it be in your garden, on TV, or even in books during a major life transition. The softened space. Noticing that the room feels complete or more alive once a plant is added, even if nothing else in the decor has changed. Seasonal cycling. Noticing that your own energy levels and moods are mirroring the exact cycles of the plant outside your window. You don't need to use all of these. Just a handful that feel real to you will land the strongest. And then there's the part we don't always admit out loud. How many of us talk to our plants? Somehow it doesn't feel strange when you're doing it because on some level, you're already in interaction. And this is where your own intuitive senses might quietly come in. You might feel the shift of the space. You might just know where to be drawn to go. You might notice images, memories, or meaning rising up without trying to force them, even jokingly. It's nothing dramatic. There's nothing for you to have to figure out. Just small, consistent moments that start to show you that this isn't something outside of you. It's something that you already have been part of the whole entire time. I have most of my plants are in my bedroom, but I had that plant. It's a prayer plant. That's what it is. And I had that in my bedroom also. It was not doing well. So I actually put it in my living room, and the thing has thrived. By the way, that's the plant that Jenna, hers doesn't do well, or mine does. So I found that by moving it into the other room, it actually did better.
That is cool. You know what I was thinking of? When you're noticing that plant or flower, when something major happens in your life. I never thought of that. You know, maybe you see a bird or something. I never thought of flower.
Until you just mentioned it, I hadn't either. Because you're right. It's as much of a sign as it is a bird.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
I agree. Shall I go over how the plant communicates?
I'd love to hear how they communicate.
Okay. Once you start noticing these everyday encounters, the next question naturally becomes, how does this actually communicate with me? The thing about the plant realm is that it's never going to shout to get your attention. It communicates through language of patterns and presence. You might notice it first through cycles, that rhythm of blooming and shedding that we all feel in our own lives. When you see a plant retreating into itself for the winter, it's not dying. It's showing you how to rest. And then there's repetition. Have you ever had a specific flower or a certain type of tree that just shows up everywhere? In your neighbor's yard, or on a card you get in the mail, in a dream. That's not random. That's a ping from the realm, drawing your focus toward a specific energy you might need right now. It also speaks to us through condition and placement. We've all had that one spot where no plant will grow, no matter how much we fix the light or the water. That's the land telling you something about the vibe of that corner. It's a contrast you can feel, where one space feels more vibrant and alive, and another just feels flat. When a plant unexpectedly flourishes in a place it shouldn't, it's a sign of a massive energetic yes. And then there's the drawer, that magnetic pull where you find yourself walking toward a specific tree or wanting to touch the bark of a certain branch without even thinking about it. You're responding to a timing that's already in motion. It's a symbolic reflection of your own journey. If you're feeling stuck and you're suddenly drawn to a vine that's finding its way through a tiny crack in the pavement, that plant is mirroring your own resilience. It's showing you that there's always a way through. Oh, I like that. But maybe the most powerful way to communicate is through stillness. Those moments where nothing is happening, nothing is blooming, nothing is changing. But you can feel a heavy, beautiful presence in the room. It's the plant responding to your mood or your attention just by being there. It's a quiet, consistent, I see you. And once you start noticing that interaction, the whole world starts to feel a lot less lonely.
I love what you just said, especially about the plant growing in the crack. A sense of overcoming.
Mm-hmm.
I just love it.
And I got plenty of those I could look out and think of them in a totally new way of life now, you know?
Yes.
That little thing has resilience. I like it.
Well, what we call weeds, right, are actually very beneficial for certain things, like dandelions. I don't know if you get dandelions, but we have.
Yeah, I got lots of weeds.
But the dandelions are one of they're actually a very medicinal plant, I believe.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So they belong in the healer pillar. Okay.
Yes, the healer. So, did you know that the plant realm isn't just something you observe? It's something that you're already in a relationship with.
Oh, no.
There's a natural exchange happening all the time, whether you think about it or not. Plants take in what we release and give back what we need. So the oxygen, the food, the support, it's all constant, quiet balance. And in return, we tend, we move, we place, we care for. Not always perfectly, but enough to keep the relationship going. It's less of a system and more of an ongoing exchange. And when you start to slow down and notice, you may also begin to pick up on something more subtle. Plants have a way of showing you what they are without saying it, through their shape, their color, where they grow, how they grow. There's a kind of signature to them. Over time, you might find yourself recognizing that without needing to study it. Just noticing the plant feels like what it reminds you of and what you're drawn to. The human and plant contract is an abstract idea, but when you look at it through the lens of a breath, it's actually the most intimate relationship we have. It's a literal physical tether. Think about it. Every single exhale we release, we are giving them exactly what they need to survive. Every time they breathe, they're releasing the oxygen we need to take our next step. It's like this constant invisible prayer happening in every room of your house. It's not just an exchange or a transaction. It's a cycle of life. We are quite literally breathing each other into existence. When you're sitting in a forest, you aren't just near the trees, you're physically becoming part of them, and they are becoming part of you. It takes the idea of gratitude to a whole different level. It's hard to feel lonely or disconnected when you realize your own lungs are 24/7 partnership with the plant realm. It's a contract signed with every single breath.
I like that.
Again, not something that we think about, but it changes your perspective.
It does. And we know that.
Yeah, we all know this, but we don't pay
Right.
attention to it because you just wanted me to say that pay attention. Yes. No, we all absolutely know this. Do you want to go over some of the relationships that we have with the domesticated plants?
Sure. So there's another layer to the relationship, the difference between what we bring into our space and what grows on its own. When we talk about the plants we've brought inside, we're talking about the very specific kind of relationship. These aren't just decorations we bought to fill in a corner. They are plants that have agreed to live in our own rhythm. They are intentionally placed and cared for, which creates a direct energetic loop between us and them. Because they're in our immediate space, they become more incredibly responsive to our movement, our attention, and the overall environment we're building. Like we said earlier, they often reflect the energy of the space back to us, flourishing when things are in harmony or showing us through their leaves when the atmosphere has gotten heavy or stagnant. They're participating in our daily lives by creating a sense of calm and integration that wasn't there before. They don't just sit in a room, they grow a relationship with us, intertwine with our habits and our presence, rather than just existing separate from us. It's a quiet, shared journey where they meet us exactly where we are every time we walk through the door.
And this leads to how we can support our energy with our space with the plants. Take your entryways, for example. These are the places where the outside world meets the private space. So you want plants there that feel like a filter. Think about using upright, structured plants like the snake plant or even the fiddle leaf fig. They have a steady, grounded posture that acts almost like an energetic boundary, helping to protect and stabilize the home as soon as you walk in. In living spaces where you gather and unwind, you might look for something fuller and more balanced to bring a sense of harmony. Plants like the rubber plant and areca palm or monstera have a way of softening the edges of a room and stabilizing the vibe, making the whole area feel more anchored. Then you have the bedroom, which is all about rest and softness. You don't want anything here that feels overwhelming or high energy. Instead, you go to the gentle, calming presence of things like lavender, aloe vera, or a peace lily. They are the quiet, restorative frequency that supports your sleep rather than demanding your attention. If you're looking to sharpen your focus on your workspace, the energy needs to be clean and intentional. Smaller contained plants like the rosemary or bamboo, or even a few small succulents, help clear the mental clutter. Their presence is sharp, upright, which mirrors the clarity you're trying to find to work. And finally, we have those stagnant corners, those spots where the air just feels stuck. To get the energy moving again, you can use trailing or reaching plants like pothos, ivy, and a string of pearls. Their vines bring a sense of flow, activation into a still space, literally reaching out to reconnect the corner to the rest of the room. The key to all of this isn't about getting the right plant at the right spot. It's about placing them with intention and then simply observing. Does the room feel better? Does the room feel different? Does the plant seem happy there? You're not trying to control the space. You're just giving it a little support and watching how the plant realm responds. Because this isn't about controlling your space. It's about supporting it. You place with intention and then you observe the response. I just found that very interesting. Apparently my snake plant needs to go by the door though, along with my smoky quartz.
That's funny. Rosemary is supposed to be very good for memory. So if you're studying, it's good to have rosemary around.
I did not know that. Very nice.
Yep.
But it does make sense. It's working with the energy of the room. I like it. Now I'm going to get more plants.
So we have the wild ones next.
Ooh, exciting. Yes, exciting.
These are the plants that grow where they weren't planted. The ones in the cracks, along the fences, at the edges of the sidewalks. The ones we often call weeds. Their energy feels different. They're not placed or tended in the same way. They don't rely on us to survive. They grow where they land. They adapt to what's there, finding a way no matter the condition. There's a quiet independence to them, a persistence that doesn't ask for permission. Wild plants often show us something unfiltered. They reflect the environment as it is, not as we've shaped it. And there's something grounding in that. They remind us that growth doesn't have to be perfect or planted to be real, and that some forms of life are meant to exist completely on their own terms. They grow without being planted or managed. They adapt quickly to whatever environment they're in. They return even after being removed. They reflect the natural state of space, not a controlled one. And they carry a sense of independence and resilience. And both are important because one shows us how we relate to the plant realm, and the other reminds us that it doesn't need us to exist. It meets us, but it also stands on its own.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
this also makes me think of the other side of the plant realm, that not every plant is there just to be soft and supportive. So let's call it the shadow of the green. And think about it. The roses, the cacti, hawthorns, they aren't being mean because they have spikes. They are the natural guardians. They're there to hold boundaries and protect the space they inhabit. They teach us that growth sometimes requires a bit of a don't touch sign. It's the like energetic security. And it's not just the thorns you can see. Think about the plants we use in energetic clearing. We all know about sage and Palo Santo for clearing a room. But like you were saying earlier, even your common houseplants, like the snake plant or the mother-in-law's tongue, which I'm not familiar with, but I'll be looking it up, act like a literal filters for the heavy energy. If you have a plant that seems to struggle no matter what you do, maybe it's just doing the heavy lifting, filtering out the static in the room's vibe. So you don't have to. It's like they're energetic janitors of the house. They take in the shadow so you can live in the light. It's just another way the plant realm shows up for us, sometimes by being soft and sometimes by being bouncer at the door. I love that.
I do too. You know, the mother-in-law's plants are leaves that go straight up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Like I said, I have never seen one, so I am going to be looking it up. I don't know. Maybe that'll be my new plant.
I think you might recognize it when you see a picture of it.
Oh, okay. I just didn't. Well, I don't know the names.
Yeah.
I had to look.
But it looks so familiar.
Yeah. I mean, like even the prayer plant. I don't know how. Oh, Jenna came with me to Echo's. That's what it was. And Echo had one. And she's like, Mom, I want that plant. She's a plant girl, right? I'm like, all right, I'll get you a plant. So I don't even know how it came about. And then it never happened and never happened. So a year goes by and she's like, you never gave me that plant. And then we happened to be at, I don't even know what plant store. And I saw them. And so I got two of them, one for her, one for me. So.
Oh, that's cool. Anastasia wants a bamboo plant.
See, and I never even thought about a bamboo, but that's a great office plant.
Yeah, but you can't buy it because they're illegal here. Bamboo.
Are they really?
Yeah, because they're an invasive plant and they grow so big and all of that. So you can't get it.
Huh. I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. But if you have bamboo in Minnesota and you want to send it.
So is that a United States thing or just a Jersey thing then?
I don't know. But I know it's like here in New Jersey, you can't plant.
Well, now this is another deep dive. You can't plant it or you can't have it.
Well, you can't plant it, but you can't buy it either. Not that we've seen that you could buy a bamboo plant.
This might be another deep dive for us.
Yes.
So, Ro, how do you work with the plant realm, just on a general basis?
Well, the best part is that it doesn't require a massive lifestyle shift or a complicated ritual. It's really just about becoming a little bit more aware of what's already happening right in front of you. You might start by simply noticing what you're naturally drawn to, whether that's a specific tree on your street or a certain type of greenery that always catches your eye. It's about spending a few quiet moments with the plant without needing to do anything or provide a specific result. Just being in its presence is enough. In your own home, you can work with it by placing your plants with a little bit of intention, choosing a spot because you want to bring in more calm, focus, or grounding, and then just paying attention to how that space feels differently once you plant it there. Even the chores we usually do on autopilot, like watering, trimming, or repotting, can become a form of a quiet connection if you let them. It's a way of acknowledging the plant with a bit of gratitude, even if it's just a silent thought while you're checking the soil. You'll also start seeing this energy moving in cycles, the growth of slowing down, the shedding, and the eventual regrowth. When you observe those shifts in your plants, you start to see them mirrored in your own life too. It gives you permission to be still in nature without needing to fill the space with thoughts or distractions. Sometimes it's as simple as physically touching the leaf itself, feeling the texture of its bark, or just getting your hands in the soil to really connect with that energy of growth. The goal isn't to force anything. It's about noticing what thrives and what doesn't in your environment and letting that be okay. You might find yourself talking to your plants, nothing serious, just a light, natural acknowledgement of their space. By bringing nature into your awareness every day, whether it's a single plant on your desk or just looking out the window during a busy afternoon, you're letting the plant realm reflect something back to you. You don't have to interpret it immediately. You just have to let the interaction exist. Over time, that consistency is what makes the relationship feel real. So good. I look and admire my tree every day. So even though I don't have any plants in my house, I still have the tree to look at.
There you go. You can see it every day.
I do.
It's kind of like Teddy.
Yes.
Did you name your tree?
No, I haven't named it.
Maybe you should.
Maybe. I have to think of a good name.
Very cool. Very cool. So if you zoom out for a moment and look at the plant realm as a part of something larger, you begin to see that it isn't just a layer of life. It's a part of a progression, a movement. Because before there is growth, there is stillness. The mineral world, the stone, the earth, the foundation holds the quiet, unmoving presence. It anchors, it exists, and then something shifts. The plant realm emerges as a next step where life begins to grow, to reach, to respond. It may not move across the land, but it moves within itself, upward, outward, and towards something. In that way, it becomes a bridge from stillness into growth. And from there, it continues. The plant realm doesn't just grow for itself, it supports everything that comes after it. It becomes the foundation for movement, for more complex life, quietly sustaining what follows. One of the most important things it shows us is how to move through change. Plants don't resist their cycles. They don't question the timing. They just follow it. When you sit with that long enough, you start to realize that it isn't just something you are observing. It's something that you're living to.
I like that.
You know, it just takes it to a deeper level.
It does. As we close today's episode on the plant realm, remember, it's not something you have to go out and find. It's already part of your environment. It's in the spaces you move through, the spaces you rest, the things you pass every day without really thinking about it. Sometimes it shows up as a sense of calm you can't quite explain, or sometimes it's something you feel drawn to without knowing why. And sometimes it's just there, steady and quiet, whether you notice it or not. None of that means you're missing anything. It just means it's meeting you where you are. So instead of trying to figure it out, just try this over the next few days. Just notice where you feel the shift. When you walk into a room, when you step outside, or when you pass the same tree or plant you've seen 100 times. Pause for a moment and check in. Does something feel different here? Or do I feel more settled or more aware? Or am I drawn to stay or to move on? You don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to name it. You're just noticing it is enough. Show gratitude and start changing your relationship with it. And honestly, this whole episode is one of those things that feels so simple. It's easy to overlook. But once you start paying attention, it's not hard to see it everywhere. If any part of this helped you slow down or notice something in your own space a little differently, then we did what we came here to do. Just love doing this episode. So, Becky, what are we diving into next week?
In our next episode, we'll be doing a Messages in Motion. We're returning to the words from the Woo Woo Seeker's Journal, A Journey for Your Signs and Symbols, Book 1, and exploring how signs and symbols begin to speak once you understand the structure behind them. See how spirit gets your attention when you're not looking for it, and how meaning shows up in ordinary moments. And here are the words for this week from the Woo Woo Seeker's Journal, A Journey for Your Signs and Symbols, Book 1. Lantern and lock. See what rises. See what resonates. You can find the meditation for these words on our YouTube channel at Woo Woo Seekers. All of the words can be found with direct links to our newsletter that can be found at comegetwoowoo.com, with new meditations released the first of every month. If you want to deepen your journey, explore our other meditation series, The Sacred Tree and The Soul's Garden, also available on our YouTube channel at Woo Woo Seekers. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for getting woo-woo with us today. If something sparked a memory, a message, or just made you smile, share it with a fellow seeker, because the journey is always better when you can grow together. Be sure to find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at Woo Woo Seekers, so you can like, follow, and subscribe.
You can also follow us by visiting our website, comegetwoowoo.com. We are so much more than just another podcast. We're building a community of seekers just like us. We love hearing from you. If you've got signs, symbols, or stories that you want to share, email us at woowooseekers@gmail.com. Or any questions about today's episode, you can email us at comegetwoowoo@gmail.com.
Until next time, stay curious, stay open, and as always, come get woo-woo with us.